Bible characters, Genesis Series 3, Part 6. Seth. Seth in the Abrahamic religions was the third son of Adam and Eve. The Hebrew Bible names two of his siblings, although it also states that he had others, his brothers Cain and Abel. According to Genesis chapter 4, verse 25, Seth was born after Abel's murder by Cain, and Eve believed that God had appointed Seth as a replacement for Abel. In the book of Genesis, Seth was born when Adam was 130 years of age. And according to the same book of Genesis, Seth died at the age of 912 years, 14 years before the birth of Noah. It is important in this life to follow God's teachings, to be faithful, and to pass on that knowledge to our children and future generations. What are the key lessons we glean from the life of Seth? Follow God's teachings. Seth followed Adam's example and was faithful to God. Pass on God's teachings. Seth taught his son Enosh about God, and people began to call on the name of God. Be faithful. The descendants of Seth were faithful to God, unlike the descendants of Cain. Learn from mistakes. Seth knew when to follow his family and laid an example for such. He knew when to follow his family's example and when not to. Recognize that God gives and takes away. The birth of Seth brought joy to Eve after the loss of Abel. What other lessons do we learn from the life of Seth? The importance of maintaining a godly heritage in our families. The value of paying attention to the mistakes of others. The importance of being faithful to God. The importance of passing on God's teachings to our people and children. In that light, we can say that the most important lesson we can learn from Seth is the value of following our parents' teachings about God and passing that knowledge on to our own children and future generations. The story of Seth also teaches us something about the value of paying attention to the mistakes our parents or siblings make. This is Her Grace, Prophetess Professor Abigail Carlos Manya, PhD at Visions of Glory International. Shalom.